and I totally screwed that up. This is a collection that I have built very long period of time. A lot of patience has gone into this, and a lot of money, of course, as you can see. This is purely a passion project. Like it says in the description, I grew up loving the franchise of Fast and Furious, and thank you to Rockstar for taking so much inspiration. So let's get started. First off, I've kind of put these across from each other in terms of the cars that raced each other. First off, we have Brian's Nissan GTR from, I forget exactly which film, but it's one of the last ones with Brian in it. I believe it was 6, where him and Dom race along the, not cliffs, but like the road on the cliffside. You know what I mean if you're a fan. And yeah, and then of course Dom's iconic Challenger. Sadly, you can't get the gray on the backside there, but yep. One of my absolute most favorite races. One of my next favorite races is Brian's Toyota Supra Mark IV, racing Dom's iconic Dodge Challenger. Two of my absolute most favorite cars. This is one of my most favorite cars in the entire world. I love this car, and this is one of my absolute favorites in this collection. Literally named after lines in the movies. Like, this is 10-second man livery, or a 10-second man or 10-second car. Either way, you know, direct Easter egg to the movie. Next, we have The Last Ride, which is, in my opinion, one of the most emotional parts of the franchise, because it was after Paul Walker had very sadly passed away. But there you have his Toyota Supra. And then Dom's this is not the Plymouth Roadrunner, is it? I forget. It's the Tampa. I should also show which cars these are. You got the Gauntlet Hellfire, the Elegy, of course, and then 2 Jester Classics, Bravado Gauntlet Classic. This is the Tampa, but I believe it is the Plymouth. Yeah, it is the Plymouth Roadrunner from The Last Ride, and then of course, everyone's favorite, Brian's Nissan Skyline GTR with the blue and silver. Another one of my absolute favorite cars. Love this. And it's fast as hell too in this game. The Dodge Daytona, of course. I was so happy when they finally added this to the game, because I remember people using the Imponte Phoenix simply for the spoiler to make this car, and I hated it. I never made it myself, but then I saw this in Benny's, and I thought, yes, now I can have a good collection. And then you have the Mitsubishi Eclipse, which is this one, I think. I'm not too big on Mitsubishis, but you know, first movie were these 2 cars, Brian's 2 very first cars. This is the I Almost Had You car that everyone knows and loves. And then this is the first car that Brian was ever seen driving. So yeah, that is it for the... I have a lot of cars to go through, so I'm kind of rushing through this. But yeah, this is the first garage, and it's all Brian and Dom. Just Brian and Dom in this garage. And this is also my favorite collection right here. And this is in the 50-car garage, by the way, that they recently added to the game. I don't know. I just started playing a few weeks ago, so back to playing. I haven't played since the Franklin DLC launched. Next up is the, well, it's kind of Mia and Tokyo Drift and Roman thrown into this one. Everyone's favorite Mustang, Sean's Ford Mustang, from the Tokyo Drift, the finale race, as I like to call it. And of course, DK's iconic Nissan 350Z. I don't have the livery for it yet because that requires the, what is it, rank 100 in the fucking, whatever the hell you call it, the car meet shit. And I'm like rank 60, slowly but steadily getting there. But yeah. And honestly, one of my most favorite races, I grew up loving drifting, just the idea of drifting. And this is one of my absolute favorite races in the entire franchise. Of course, we have Han's Mazda RX-7 in the form of the Dodge Viper Banshee, sadly, but, you know, you go with what you can, right? Everyone knows and loves this car. Sad how everyone thinks Han dies in that scene, and then he somehow comes back, because apparently Shaw saves him, or Shaw's brother. And then, of course, Shaw's Mitsubishi Evolution Lancer, the car that got him into drifting. Amazing, amazing car, and that's the Sultan RS from Benny's, Banshee from Benny's, Dominator GTT, and NS Euros. Roman's, Mustang, 1969 Mustang Fastback. This is my favorite car in the entire universe, next to the Camaro, which they also recently added to this game, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah, this car, I think my favorite part about this car is the tank and how it just gets crushed by the tank. Kind of one of my favorite scenes. Yeah, there's Roman's Ford Fastback. Next up is his Koenigsegg that him and Tej buy quite hilariously towards the end of the, what is it, Fast 7, I believe? Yeah, Fast 7, I think. I haven't watched the franchise in like 2 years, so I'm a bit messed up on the timelines. But yeah, the Koenigsegg CCXR, Romans. Next up, we have Mia. Only 2 cars that Mia drives that I could really get in this game. First is her Acura NSX that she's seen driving. I forget which scene, honestly, but it's one of my favorite cars, so there you go. That is the Turismo Classic as well, which you see a lot, a little bit too much in the car meet if you ask me. Next up is the first car you ever see Mia driving, and that is the Acura Integra GSR? I think I got that right. Closest I could get to it with the liveries and all. Pretty awesome car. Not recommended for GTA for racing. Like I said, these are passion cars. Next up, of course, is Brian's other Nissan GTR, the blue version. The one that we see him driving a bit more than the last ride. Really don't like Rockstar for this because of the lights, though. You can get the right lights on this one, but you can't get the right lights on the GTR, which just sucks, but it's as close as you can get it. And then, of course, Brian's iconic Skyline, blue. Looking all sexy here in the corner. And that is it for this garage. I feel like I'm going through these a little too quickly. I still have 2 other garages to go through, though. Hey, 3 people watching, that's what's up. You guys missed the first garage. Maybe I'll go back. I'll probably go back through these, honestly, because I like showing off. This next one is kind of my favorite, next to the first one. Starting off, of course, you'll immediately recognize the 2 Dodge Chargers that Dom and Brian used to steal a massive bank vault. Which is kind of my favorite heist in anytime you hear the word heist, I think to myself, that's my favorite heist, is the one from Fast and Furious. What is it, 6? I believe, no, 5. Sorry, Fast 5. Yes. Next up, we have Giselle's. This is the only car I have of Giselle's because she doesn't drive a lot, and it's either this or a BMW or a car that I don't think you can even get in GTA. But that is her Porsche Cayman. It's the first car you see her driving in the franchise, and really, I mean, I guess there's the Nissan that she drives to show off to the boys when they're testing the whole drifting with cameras thing for that other heist. But yeah, there's her Porsche Cayman for Giselle, and then of course Brian's Ford Escort from the infamous tank scene. That is the Vapid Red New. I know a lot of people use the it's the other one that looks like this, and I completely disagree that it's the right one, because this one has 2 stripes, that one has 1 stripe, and yeah, they're not on the side, they're on the top, but still 2 stripes, right? So I feel like it's a little closer, plus the shape of it is identical to the Ford Escort. I believe it's the RX 700. I could be wrong. I am not a car enthusiast, as much as I'd like to be. Next up is the infamous villain Deckard Shaw's Jaguar F-Type. One of my absolute favorite cars in the franchise. I love Jaguars, I grew up loving Jaguars, and I owe Just J Club to this build. I actually just made this one before making this video. This was the last car I added to my collection. So yeah, there is Shaw's Jaguar Type F7. It's not really a car that anyone drives for long, but it is iconic. It's the Ford GT from the train heist that Giselle drives. So it's kind of Giselle's car. Not really. But I mean, it causes a lot of trouble for everybody because of the computer chip and shit that Hobbs tears the car apart to get. Is that Hobbs or Dom? I can't remember. Anyways, moving on. Next we have Letty. Letty's Corvette from Fate of the Furious. Is this Fate of the Furious, or is this... Yes, it is Fate of the Furious. I've only seen Fate once. I thought it was a terrible film, but it's okay. Has great cars, like identical to the one in the film. Is awesome. Next is Roman's Bentley from Fate of the Furious. Kind of the only car I could think that he has from that movie, and honestly, it's a Bentley. You can't go wrong with Bentleys, and it's fucking beautiful. That's the Enos Windsor, by the way. Next up is another Letty car, the Gauntlet Hellfire. Fuck, I'm reading the name on screen. Dodge Challenger that she drives to literally save Brian's life when that truck goes off the cliff. I thought that was one of the most intense scenes in the franchise, so I had to make this car. It's a beautiful, beautiful car too, and the fact that you can get it identical to the one from the film in this game is awesome. And I'm saving the best for last because this is one of the most adrenaline-inducing scenes in my opinion. You're driving a supercar between two skyscrapers, which probably cost a lot of money to produce that scene. That's the Lycan Hypersport from Fast 7? I could be wrong. Yep, Fast 7. When they go to Dubai, and Dom decides he wants to drive this between the two skyscrapers. Pretty awesome. And that's it for this garage. On to the next one, which is the last one. Sadly, my collection isn't that big, but I get what Rockstar gives. So, and yes, I am the Joker, because the face paint, honestly, and Joker's been my persona since, like, I don't know, 2017. Really small collection in here, but nonetheless iconic. Of course, it starts with the Corvette that Dom and Brian drive quite hastily off of a cliff, and they jump out of. That was the one with the train. The train damn near kills them, and they have no choice but to drive it off the cliff and jump out. How they survive the fall into the water? Plot armor, right? Next is Dom's... I forget what car this is exactly, but it's the one he drives across the ice. And that's the next few cars ahead. I think it's a Challenger, I don't quite know, I don't remember, but it's the closest we can get. I knew when I made this car, obviously. And it's another Tampa, of course. Pretty awesome. It's not exactly the same as the one in the film, but then again, it's, it's Rockstar, GTA, right? This one, not a lot of people might recognize this, but it's another ice car. Roman drives this. I remember him fucking sliding all over the place, because you don't drive a Lamborghini on ice. But he does it anyway. And I thought that was a pretty funny scene, so I had to go ahead and make this one. It's just the Infernus, though. It's nothing special, but the Infernus is the closest car to the one that he drives in the film. Yes. Next up is Letty's Coil Brawler. Not Coil Brawler, that's just what it's called in the game. I forget what it's called in the movie, but it is the one that she also drives across the ice, and it's, you know, you can make it in the game, so why not? And of course, the most iconic one, really, out of this whole collection is, of course, Hobbs's giant-ass military truck, which is the Insurgent. Which is seen in, I think, 2 films. He's seen driving it in 2 films. Most iconically, though, Fast 5. He chases down the heist crew with this. Pretty awesome, pretty awesome. Drives through a few buildings, if I remember right. And that's it for my collection, really. I don't have a lot. Well, I mean, I guess 10, 20, 30, 35 cars, I guess is a lot. A lot of videos I've seen on collections, they only have like 15 to 20. And there's a few other cars I want to add to this collection, but money right now is a bit of a problem. I had about $10 million as of yesterday, and I've blown, I don't know, $4 million into this collection just in the past few hours because I added a couple more cars. So, yeah. GTR, Challenger, Charger, Toyota Supra, Plymouth Roadrunner. I keep forgetting that it's Plymouth Roadrunner, but it is. Daytona. God, I love that. The color and the rims are all down to a T, like as close as I could possibly get them. Mirrors, windows, pearlescent, you name it. I got it down perfectly as the best as I could. After watching the films and then making these cars. Like I'm kind of proud about this one. I watched a lot of builds for this one, and they always got the rims wrong. I got the rims right on this one. I'm quite positive because it has the bolts around the edge, and then it has the 6 spokes, if you will. And yeah, and the color, of course, you can't go wrong with the color. Even this one. The rim it's not perfect, but you know it is as close as you can get it. And the color, of course, and the livery. Not the best, but it is the closest. I think that's lime green, actually. I don't know how I got lime green on there, because I don't have 50 stunt jumps. And then this is my crew color, by the way, in case anyone wonders how I got that green on there. Since I am the Joker, and my crew is Jokersville, I made it green. And this car... Whew, I love this car. This is one of my favorites right here. The Mitsubishi. Probably because it is the first one that Brian races with. Let's go to the second one again. I mean, this video is only, what, 17 minutes old. Let's make it 20 minutes, if we can. Besides, someone's watching, so someone's enjoying this. Thanks for watching, by the way. Really bugs me about this one that you can't get the livery. Oh, someone wants to recruit me to a motorcycle club? That's cute. I don't want to join. But yeah, the livery for this one really bothers me that it's locked at level 100. Eventually I'll get it. The livery is almost the exact same. Only gripe I have about it is it goes on both sides of the car instead of just one. And this one, there's another car in this game. It's another Ford Mustang that you can use. It's not the GTT. I think it's just the Vapid Dominator. It has a flat front to it, but the one that Sean drives does not have a flat front. It does have a bit of a cone at the front, so that's why I use this one. Once again, my most favorite car. I love this. I just love this car so much. And this one. And both of these two. Oh my god. I was really, really happy when I looked. I literally looked up Han's car, and then I saw the livery for this on a build. I think it was Just Jake. This is another Just Jake Club one, actually. I think both of these, actually. No, both of these two. Just Jake, his video I used to make these, and spot on. Spot on, except for the exhaust on this one, but you can't change it. But yeah, props to Just Jake Club for these two. definitely check them out if you're watching this and you're planning on making your own collection. This one I built myself, pat myself on the back. Roman's little fastback that sadly gets crushed by a tank. And the Koenigsegg. I also built myself. I do think so. Yep. Took a bit of finding. I didn't look up anything for this. I just kind of guessed that it was the entity. Because I already had an entity. So I kind of just took it and threw it in while looking at pictures of the car from the movie. And, I mean, it is the Koenigsegg, so, you know, as close as you can get it. I hate this one, kind of. I hate the livery on it, because it's so, like, it's the closest you can get to Mia's Acura, but it's not the same. And there are two versions to this. There is the dark hood, and then there is the blue hood. I, of course, went for the dark hood, because it looks better with the livery. And her little NSX Acura that you only see her driving this for like 5 minutes, I think. 10 minutes. Little unknown car, I guess. Lesser known car. And then, of course, Brian's two Nissans again. I just love the blue on this. I don't hate it, I hate the front and the back for the lights, because, like, they could have done so much better. And I mean, the GTR's lights, you know, they're iconic. You want the lights that are similar to the one in the Skyline, right? What? Oh yeah, the TV's always going in this place. Good bit of nostalgia. This took me like 2 years to build this collection. A total of 2 years. Ever since the summer update. That's when I started building this. That's when they added the Dodge Daytona for the Gauntlet Classic Custom at Benny's. I can't get over these two. Like, I built both of these myself, and, you know, having two of them, you can't have one. You gotta have two, because there's two in the movies. You cannot have one. Really wish I could, like, put some, like, what do you call it? Like, the bolt fenders. I wish that was something you could throw into that. Sadly, you can't, but, you know, it's the Buffalo S. Oh, I should totally do stats, too. I completely forgot they list stats on these cars. Everything is upgraded to the maximum, as high as you can get it. If it's housed, it's housed. If it's Benny's, it's Benny's. I've upgraded everything to the absolute max. Really sad that this is like the only car. I mean, you can get Giselle's Nissan, but it's just in the movie for like not even 10 minutes. It's just one scene, you know? Plus, you already have one Nissan if you got the DK car, so I mean, it's meh. But I love this. And Just Jake, again, Just Jake, thank you for this one. I watched his video for this and for Shaw's Jaguar. Both of these. The rims that he did in the video were not accurate. The rims I got on this are the exact same as the one from the movie. He did it was a sport one. I can't remember. But I think that's a track rim, if I'm right. If I remember right. I just made that. I should remember, but I don't. The color that he did, though, is Chef's Kiss. Perfect. Perfect color, just like in the movie. Down to a T, these two. I'm not too sure about the rim on this one. I made this, I think I was actually drunk when I made this one. So I'm not 100% on the rim. So don't quote me on the rim. I think that's a muscle rim. No, it's a tuner. Maybe I did get that right. But I think I was drunk when I made this one. But that is, of course, Mia's? Yeah, Mia drove the Ford GT on the train heist. And ladies Corvette. Man, I just, like, it's, I think it's Torino red with a pearlescent of white. And that is the way to go on that one. Because the car from the movie does have a good white tinge to it. Hey, I paid my bills. Roman's Bentley. Is that a chrome rim? I wish I could pull my... Yeah, that is chrome. Yeah. I always go with chrome with the Bentley. The lifesaver car, as I like to call this the lifesaver, because it saves Brian's life. Quite literally. Thanks to Letty's awesome driving skills. And the Lycan Hypersport. You just can't go wrong. Oh, that is the Tempesta, by the way. In case anyone's wondering. That is the Pegasi Tempesta. Which is essentially the Lycan Hypersport. I mean, it's not a perfect, dupe. Not a perfect representation of the Lycan Hypersport, but it is the closest you can get in this game. It's as close as you're gonna get anyway. You could do it with the Reaper. The Pegasi Reaper. It's not a Lycan Hypersport, but it is close. Pretty close. But I think personally the Tempesta is a lot closer because of the vents at the back, at the side of the door, and the back of the car itself. You know, it's the closest you'll get. And I think we're almost done going through these a second time. Yeah, we are. How long has this video been? 26 minutes? Just about long enough. Out of all these ones, I'd say this one is kind of my favorite because of the scene it's involved in when they go... I still can't get over how they just dive into the water like it's nothing. I mean, you know, you'd think they'd take some injury from it, but... I guess feet first, right? That train does damn near kill them, so you gotta do what you gotta do, I guess. Oh well. Still an awesome car. I think this is actually my favorite ice runner. It is. That and the Brawler. Yeah. Honestly, I made this one just because I thought it was ridiculous. I thought the writers of the show they wanted to make Roman look like an absolute idiot, like they usually do. They usually do. I mean, that's what Roman's known for. He's the clown of Dom's crew. And just driving a Lamborghini across the ice is just ridiculous. Letty's good old ice runner. I just call this the ice runner because I have no idea what the car is actually called. I might do for the rest of this collection the motorcycles in Fast and Furious, because there's quite a few motorcycles that they have in the movies. I mean, they're only in the scenes for a short time because it's a car film, obviously. So, you know. That is a off-road rim. I think that's actually the stock rim, because the stock rim is the closest to Hobbs's giant-ass truck. I don't have any cars from Hobbs and Shaw because that is the only one I have not seen. And I have not seen Fast 9 yet because that one just came out, right? Or was it the 10th? The 10th one just came out. 9 I haven't bothered to purchase on Blu-ray because I heard it was a terrible film. Apparently, John Cena, I guess. I heard he did good and I heard he did bad in that film, so I don't know. But yeah, I will conclude it there. Go through these just one more time because this is my favorite set. Most of all, this one. The Dodge Challenger is my second favorite car. And anytime I saw Dom driving that, I was glued to the TV. Wish I could get that little car rating off there. Just pretend that's not there. A lot of people I've seen doing builds for these use the Dukes, which I don't fully understand. When they're recent ones too, I don't get why. It's like they don't know that the Gauntlet Classic exists. This is literally the Dodge Challenger, or Charger. From literally, I mean, the lights maybe not the exact same, but everything else from the shape to the back to the front to the side, the front, bumpers, color, everything you can get for this car is the exact same as Dom's Charger. Even has a working, well, what the fuck? Working belt that moves. Apparently that matters in these builds. Because apparently people differentiate between the Dukes and the Dukes, whatever the other one is. This is my favorite Brian car, honestly. That and the Skyline, but I love this one way more. Just because it's... I mean, the amount of work they put into this car in the film is incredible. You know? Kind of like Sean's Mustang. And I always love the mechanical part of the Fast and Furious, so... You know, this really is my favorite Brian car. The 10-second car. Smokes Dom's Charger. And the last ride. Toyota Supra. Last car that you see Brian Paul Walker driving. Quite sad. Quite sad. I was personally quite devastated when I heard that Paul Walker died. And the Plymouth Roadrunner, which is there's a couple cars in this game that you can get to get this one, but I'd say the Tampa is the closest. You can also use the Tampa to make Dom's Roadrunner from Tokyo Drift. I haven't, simply because I don't see the point. I mean, I'm passionate about this collection, and I might add it one day, but it's in the movie for a whole, 2 minutes, which is disappointing. They should have done that race between him and Sean. They didn't, which is sad. But, yeah. Yeah, the Class 8 Tampa. I think this was in 2 films, if I remember right, the Dodge Daytona. And the fact it's not as long, at least on the back, it's not as sleek. But I mean, it is the Gauntlet Classic Custom. It's not as slanted and sleek as the Dodge Daytona, but it is the closest you will get because of the front and the back. The spoiler and the front. The front, I'd say, is the most iconic, and that is Torino red, with I think an orange pearlescent, because the car does have an orangey tinge to it. At least in one of the films. I know in the tank scene in Fast whatever the fuck, you know, when Letty and Char are in the tank, it does look a bit more white, but that's because it's in the daylight. There's that scene where he races that, I forget what he races, but it's at night, it's by a mansion, I think it's a pink slip race, I can't remember 100%, but, you know, you do see a bit of an orangey tinge in the nighttime, so that's why I went for an orangey kind of red. Yeah, I think it's Torino. It's either Torino or Formula Red with like a slightly bright orange pearlescent. It's pretty nice. This one just speaks for itself, honestly. You don't need a video to build this car because the game just gives it to you. But I'll give it a slow little rotation, you know. The spoiler is kind of what you got to get right, because there's a couple spoilers that look similar, but this is kind of the closest one you can get. And the rims. The rims matter a lot. I think that's track. I'm pretty sure it's a track rim. Not 100%. It's either track or street, I know that. It's one of the newer ones. Because you got the 6 spokes, and like I said earlier, the bolts around the rim. I kind of wish I had a lime green for this one instead of my crew color, but like I don't know how I got lime green on this. It's not the chameleon paint, I know that, because then you see a little bit of purple. I do not know how I got fucking green. Maybe it's dew yellow with a crew color pearlescent or some shit, I don't know. Don't know what I did to this car to make it this color, but it is spot on. Pat myself on the back for that. You know, exposed intercooler, sports rim, skirt. The exhaust, I don't think you can change, sadly, but I think it is side exit in the movie anyway, so either way, I made all these with pictures, and some of them I did with Not entire YouTube videos, but like bits and pieces I would take. It was only Just Jake Club that I took entire videos from and followed like spot on. Like every single bit he did, I did. I think this was one of the Just Jake Club ones I did actually. Minus the color, of course, because that's my crew color. Yep. Such a lovely collection. Can't get over it. Took me about an hour to transfer all of these from my office garage to the 50 car garage. I think I'm still in passive mode. I had to be in passive mode because there was a whole ass war going on outside of this. Yeah, I am. Yeah, there was a whole war going on while I was transferring all these cars over. I was a little bit iffy that someone was going to blow up one of my cars. Someone did. I left one of them by the by my office garage and someone blew it up. Still hate that I can't get delivery for this. Alright, that bumper, by the way, that rear bumper is the exact same one, pretty much from the movie. I think that's the rear. Most expensive one, I'm pretty sure. I love Nissan. I like that the symbol for this car is even similar to a Nissan symbol. I still can't get over this one. Same rims as the Skyline, but that's because they are essentially the same rims. Closest you'll get, anyway. Beautiful. Mazda RX-7. Mitsubishi Evo. I'd say this is my second favorite car from Tokyo Drift. Particularly because of the colors. And I like that Rockstar got the livery almost exactly the same. Just wish I could get Karen off of the front of it. But I mean, it adds character, I guess. And yeah, I'd say that that about concludes this video. Koenigsegg, Fastback, Acura NSX, Acura. I probably said it at the start of this video, but I forget already. GTR and Skyline. Out of all of these, the only one I actually take out on missions is the this one. Yeah, sometimes I'll take this out on a heist mission or something, but most of these, they're for show. That's it. They're not for races. The ones in the first garage, yes. I do sometimes drive the LG Retro. I've driven the Gauntlet Classic in a couple muscle car races. Lost, because it's a slow-ass piece of shit, but, you know, it's still fun to take these cars out for a spin. You know, get into some competitive racing. There's a few races I've actually gone into with randos, and they're all driving Fast and Furious themed cars, which was pretty fun. It's rare, but I mean, you know, there's quite a few of us in the community that do this, so you know, it's always nice to run into other fans. I just realized I have the same rim on both of these cars. I mean, it is the closest rim. It really is. I guess. I mean, no. I think the reason I did this rim is because Roman's Fastback has a bit of silver with the gold, but you can't do that, obviously, because there's no rim in this game that has two-tone coloring. So I think that's why I did that with that rim, because it has the silver around it. Yeah. Yeah, if anyone ever wants me to actually, like, show how I do these, I guess leave a comment, I suppose. And I'll check the comments tomorrow on this video, and if anyone did, then I'll make a video. And you can check my channel tomorrow, I guess. But yeah, I'm more than happy to do any of these for anyone that's interested. Honestly, you can just go over to wow, talking too much and too fast. Just Jake Club on YouTube. He, like I said earlier, I followed this car from him, and this one. Yeah. There's another one in here. No, there isn't. I think, no, yeah, this one actually. This was also just Jake car as well. Yes, yes, it was. And from the rims, not the color, obviously, that's again my crew color because the car is a bright green. And, well, my crew color is just perfect for this. So, yeah, but that is another Just Jake Club car. So, no, I do not want to do any of this shit. But yeah, that is another person watching. I keep going back through these because someone new comes in and starts watching. It's just, I don't know. Like to show off. This video is 40 minutes long already and it does not feel like it. Damn. And if anyone that watches this has any ideas, and you've seen the whole collection, and you saw a car that's in the movies and in the game, but not in my collection, comment the car, and I will fucking build it. Because I am trying to expand my collection with the, preferably the Iconics. I know one car I'm missing is the BMW that Hobbs gives everybody to drive, and only Dom and Giselle's doesn't wipe out, or something. They get disabled by a computer or something. I might add that. I know that's the Ubermacht Sentinel, so I might add the BMW. I'm not a big BMW fan myself, so I didn't really care for it. Plus, it's not an iconic car, so I didn't bother. I mean, then again, this is not really an iconic car. This is just the first car that Brian drives, and that's why I love it so much. You could argue that it's iconic, but I don't think it is, you know? Just because not a lot of people have really seen the first movie. But to me it is iconic. I love this car. That is the Sultan RS and the Penumbra FF. I said I'd do stats. I should do stats to conclude this video. So, ignoring the players list on the left, Elegy, not that fast. Good acceleration. Traction is actually not that bad. The braking does suck ass though. That is accurate. This one, I kind of hate driving this one because of the traction. This thing slides all over the fucking place, and you have to be a good driver to not crash into everything at top speed. It's good practice. This one, the same thing. The traction's horrible, and the braking, yeah, on both of these. I don't know how the traction is better on this one, but Benny's, I guess. They are pretty fast. I have won a race with this one. I've yet to win a race with this one, and I know looking at the stats that might be hard to believe, but I don't know, this one just, it feels faster than the Classic despite what it shows. So I don't know, maybe it's just my driving skills are just that good, or I got lucky, but I did win this in a muscle car race. I didn't win this, I won a muscle car race with this. And I've won a couple of races with this one. These things are fucking fast. The Jester Classic, oof, that's a good sports car. Haven't taken this one for a spin in a race though, just this one. I don't know, I feel like these two aren't really cars that you would take for a race. These are just, they're collector's items. They symbolize the most, in my opinion, emotional scene in the entire franchise, because it is the last time you see Paul Walker. CGI'd in, but still, may he rest in peace. I don't race with this one, though. Just haven't given it the opportunity, I guess. This one I raced. I raced this one in a, what is this, muscle car, yep. Didn't win. Did not win, but, still fun. And these two have collected dust since I got them. I have not bothered to race these just because they suck. They're not good cars. Their handling is, as you can see from the stats, they're not that great, but they are good for the collection. Especially those liveries. Oh man, the liveries that they got in this game, I love it. I love that Rockstar took so much inspiration from the films. Of course, they couldn't be spot on because copyrights, but they are damn close. Good old Mustang stats right there. Top speed. This one. This is I've drifted with this one. This is a fun drifting car. You know, it quite literally is the Drift King. Haven't raced with it because it's, you know, not that fast. This one I have raced with a couple times. Have yet to win with it, but that's because it's not that fast. And you know, GTA community, they always pick the fastest car they own. The Banshee, of course. How's Banshee? Just a little side note, is way faster than Benny's. So if you're planning on getting a Banshee and not for this collection, go to How's, don't go to Benny's. Because you'll be putting your money in a much better place. Mustang stats. Koenigsegg. I call these by what they are, not by the game name. But that's the Entity XXR stats, which aren't too bad. The braking is a lot better than what it says it is. It is pretty good for braking. This one, I don't think I've raced this car yet. Can I get on top of this one? Ooh, cool, I can. Neat. But yeah, I have not raced the Acura NSX yet. Turismo. Oh, I have! I have raced this car. Not this one specifically. I used to have a Turismo Classic before I made this car. And then I sold it and had to rebuy it again for this build. But I have raced that car before, and it is pretty fucking fast. And I think this one does have How's upgrade on it. Which is kind of stupid, because I haven't touched it since I built the car for the collection. Not a racing car. Not a racing car. Just look at the stats. We've already seen that one, and we've already seen that one's stats, so we'll go ahead to the next one. This is one thing I've noticed a lot of people don't do, is show the stats for the cars. And that is pretty key information when you're, you know, building a collection. When I first built this, I only wanted the fast ones in the game, and then I said, fuck it, I want all of them. That's the same. Fully upgraded to the max. Wish you could get a Imani upgrade for armor on those. Because, you know, they are what they are. Heist chargers. This is pretty... This car alone, this is just spot on. Love it. The rims, even this little detail right here. And this is thanks to Just J Club, once again. I love Porsches, and I love this Porsche specifically. And I had to make this car. Love it. Oh, can't forget the Ford Escort, which I don't recommend anyone ever buys for driving. Buy it for the collection. Don't buy it for driving, because this thing sucks. It's not like it is in the movie. It sucks for drifting, sucks for speed, sucks for handling. Yeah, okay, its acceleration is alright, but it has like a top speed, I think, of like 150, I think is what it tops out at. 145, 150, it's not that great. This one, I mean, I just built this car, so I can't really speak for its driving, but it does handle pretty nicely. It is a Jaguar, but it is the Ocelot Lynx, which is... I agree with Just J Club. He said in his video, this is $1.7 million. It is way too much for these stats. It's way overpriced, but worth it. Worth it, in my opinion. Good old Corvette speaks for itself. I mean, I'm sure most people have this car at this point, so you should know the stats. The Bentley, I've taken this out for a cruise every now and then. You know, cruising in a Bentley is always fun. I don't take a lot of these out. Some of them I do. This is one of them. This one as well, I do sometimes take out. And of course, I drive the Tempesta. I love this car. I used to have both this and the Reaper. Mostly because of my name, why I had the Reaper. But yeah, this car is pretty awesome. And you can't get on top of it, sadly. That leaves us with... yeah, one more garage, why not? It's a 50-minute video. Geez, I intended for this to be like 15 minutes, but then I rushed through it in the start, and then people kept joining to watch, so whatever. It is what it is. Alright, stats. Same as the other one. I don't think I fully upgraded this one, I just built it. Money was an issue, I think, when I built this one, so I didn't bother maxing it out. Still pretty fast, though. Yeah, this one is a drift Tampa, and it is good for drifting. I do enjoy drifting in this one. And the seats, as you'll see, let's go ahead and look on the inside. This is a Benny's car, I think, so, you know, everything on the inside is the same as it would be in the movie. I think. I mean, they don't really show the inside of Dom's car, so... But yeah, it's, you know, armored, stripped, you know, it's a car that's meant to drive on ice, pretty much. Infernus, one of the crappiest supercars in the game, and one of the first. And one of the OGs. I remember driving one of these in GTA 3, way back in the day.
You know, we've got the DJ up there giving it their all hours of the day and night. And they're playing to a fraction of the crowds they should be. We need...
Oh, whatever. Tell me to promote my club. Let me just walk in and throw someone out and boom. I've taken this off-roading a couple times, I think. Yeah, I have. It's not too bad. Just a cruising car, though. And obviously, the Insurgent, you take this on any heist. This is the heist truck to drive. And if you have the weaponized one, even better. But if you're going for the collection, obviously don't get the one with the 50 caliber mounted on top and the back missing. And that's it. That is it for this video. Yes, I will conclude it there. Go back to basement level 1. I don't know how YouTube thumbnails work. I don't know if it's the start of the video or the end of the video, but whichever one it is, maybe you gotta make my own thumbnail. I don't do the edits. I don't have an editor. But I will do a thumbs up for whoever watches this. Let's find the thumbs up. There we go. Leave a like. Yeah, see that? Joker likes it. Joker likes this video, right? Big thumbs up. And, I mean, I would say subscribe, but honestly, I only stream every now and then. So, you know, that's entirely up to whoever watches this if you want to, you know, subscribe. I will be streaming a playthrough of Dead Space shortly. I'm currently going through another trophy playthrough, but I will be streaming my playthrough of Hardcore, or Professional, whatever it's called. You know, the permadeath mode. Because I want to get that one finger death punch thing. The secret weapon. So I will be streaming that soon. At some point. Before Star Wars Jedi Survivor comes out, I will be streaming that as well. So I will be streaming Jedi Survivor next month when that comes out. So yeah. Leave a like. Thumbs up. If you see a car in the movies and in the game that's not in here, like I said, put a comment, let me know. And again, if you want me to build any of these cars, like go to Los Santos Customs and just, you know, talk you through the builds, I'm more than happy to, you know. But like I said, a lot of these you can just go to Just Jake Club on YouTube and watch one of his videos. Most of these he also built. Some of these I built myself, like this one, for example. A few videos I saw, I did not follow because I saw what color they put, and it's just wrong. This is brushed aluminum, or brushed steel, whichever one is the brighter of the two. It is not any of the metallic colors, it is a metal color, so it is the most accurate, and the rims are perfect. So yeah. Some of these are, you know, I like to give credit where credit's due, and I give myself full credit for some of these cars because they are 100% accurate. And I give full credit to some of these to Just Jake Club at YouTube. Thank you so much to him. If you watch this, you're awesome, man. So yeah. I was trying to do the thumbs up. Bye bye! Cringy outro, but whatever.